What's going on, guys? Today I'm installing and reviewing the new Hiboost Travel 3.0 Explorer cell phone booster. So I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing of this thing. I'm going to show you guys what it comes with and how it's built. And then I'm going to throw it on the truck and I'll show you guys how I'm going to be installing it on the Tundra. And then after that, we'll head to an area where I have spotty cell phone service. We'll give this thing a real test and see how well it works. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's the box. First off, it's actually a really nice box. It's got a cool picture of somebody's truck ripping through the mountains for overland and off-road. So this is a beefier unit, more made for people that are exploring and I guess expecting to hit it against branches and stuff like that. So it has a 3-year warranty, 30-day money-back guarantee, and online support, of course. So let's open it up. Okay, so we got a couple layers of foam, and I'm knocking stuff down. We have our user manual, pretty nice, all in English, no BS, color pictures, very nicely done. We have the unit itself. This thing is pretty solid. Feels like a little mini amplifier for a radio. Then it has a rubber outside that's stuck onto that, so I guess it'll protect it from vibrating and stuff like that. We have one piece of the antenna, some zip ties, some Velcro, so some Velcro with sticky tape on the backside. I guess that's to mount the actual unit itself. And we have this. Oh, this is so whenever you're mounting it to your vehicle, if you want to put your antenna in place when it's not in use, that's what that's for. So it just clips right in. Then underneath we have the top of the antenna right there. A clamp mount, so I guess if you want to mount it onto a roll bar or some kind of rounded roof rack, that's what that is for. As you can see right there, it mounts together and clamps down. I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using this mount right here. So this is really cool. The antenna screws to the top of it, and then you can mount it sideways or however you want, and then you just pull that out and you adjust it. So when you're driving, you can turn it sideways, or when you're at camp and you want to get that cell phone service boosted, you stick it straight up. It's pretty nice. And this is all metal. It's not plastic. It's actually pretty solid. You can see that everything on it is metal besides this little thing. This is plastic, that little knob. That's the one I'm going to be using. We have our 12-volt plug with a USB accessory port to it and a power switch. And this is the secondary antenna, so this is what your phone should be close to whenever you're trying to boost your service, but I'll show you guys that later on. We have more double-sided sticky tape, more zip ties, and here is the spring for the antenna that goes to the bottom of it, so that when you hit branches and stuff, this absorbs the impact instead of breaking the antenna itself. And then this is the plug or the wire that goes from the unit itself to the antenna, and I believe that is 15 feet long. So we have a total of 15 feet on the cord from the bottom of the antenna to the unit itself. So remember that on whenever you're thinking about mounting this thing, that you got 15 feet to work with. And we got a bunch of screws, nuts, a little bit of rubber foam, I guess, to make like a gasket in between wherever you mount it. Just 2 pieces of that. So cool. We got everything we need. I'm going to go ahead and start assembling this thing now and show you guys how you put it together, and then we'll go throw it on the truck. So first off, obviously this is the top, and then you have this long tube. It's threaded. It's got a female end that sticks onto this end, and then a male end that's going to stick through this adapter. So we're just going to run the female end first, run the wire through that, and get this part threaded on. Just like that. And then it does have a little cutout to where you can stick a wrench on it. It looks like it's probably like a 13mm wrench or something like that, maybe a 1/2 inch. And once we get everything hand tight, we'll tighten it all up after we get it on the truck. So there, we got that first piece threaded on. The wire is ran through. And then we have this adapter piece that goes in between the antenna and the spring. So it has a slot machined out of it right there to where the wire is going to come out. So we're going to run the wire through that piece and then out the side of this, and then we're going to thread that on. So just like that. Just like that, we have the adapter on and the wire coming out the side. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and thread this male into the female of the spring. And then the male of the spring is going to go to our mount, but we need to put this little washer on first. It's got a little nipple on it that fits in there so nothing gets damaged. And just like that, that's how it's going to go. I'm not going to put it all the way on right now, super tight, because I'm going to take this mount off to figure out where I'm going to put it on the truck, on the rack. But I'm just giving y'all the general idea. Alright, so basically just like that is how you're going to want it on the truck whenever you're trying to get service. You want it to stick straight up. Then when you're driving, you just pull that little knob out and you can adjust it. It locks in place, so you can stick it down or stick it sideways so it's not getting hit by stuff on the trails and it doesn't get damaged. Then when you want to use it, just pull that knob up, boom, and it locks right back in place. And then this wire is going to connect to this extension right here, and it's going to go to the port on the unit itself that says outdoor, because this is the outdoor antenna. It goes to the outdoor spot, obviously. And then we have our indoor antenna, which is where you want to be close to your phone, so you can use this outside. You just don't want it to get wet and stuff. That's going to connect to the indoor spot right there. So we got indoor, outdoor. There's a little USB port and your DC from your 12-volt plug. So now that we got that assembled, we got the gist of it, I'm going to hop outside and throw this thing on the truck, and then I will show you guys how exactly I'm going to be running it, and then we'll go test it out. Alright guys, I'm up on the Tundra now, and I'm going to show you how I'm mounting it and how I'm running the wires and everything like that. So I am mounting it to my roof rack in between these two rifle cases. So basically all I did was use 4 self-tapping screws, mounted it just like that, and it's solid, it's on there. And this little spring is cool, look at that. So you can hit some branches with this thing and it's not going to mess up. Pretty solid unit. And then the little antenna holder, it's got little grooves built into it for zip ties. It's supposed to be mounted by zip ties. So I drilled out 2 holes on each side, and I just ran zip ties through that, and that's mounted on there, and that's not going anywhere. So whenever I want to use it, it's going to be stood up like this, and then whenever I'm done using it, just pop it down just like that, and it's in there, not going anywhere. And then I ran the wires down across my roof rack and down the back of the cab of the truck. I'll get down and I'll show you guys that here in a second, but I'm going to pop it up real quick and I'll show you how it looks on the truck as well. Okay, so here's how it looks. You can get an idea on the size of this thing. So it sticks up quite a bit past the boxes, and I'm not going to be driving like that unless I absolutely have to on some trails. Most of the time I think this is just going to be for at camp when I want cell service, or on the trails trying to map out stuff if I'm out of service or something like that. And then here's how I ran the wiring. So it's nothing special, just some zip ties on the back of the roof rack, and then I have these little zip tie mounts which are adhesive, and they stick to your your truck or wherever you want to mount it, and then it has little grooves to stick the zip tie through and tighten it up. These are white, which I don't like. I actually ordered some black ones off Amazon. They were like 10 bucks, so I'm going to switch these out for black ones so it looks more uniform right there. And then these wires are ran underneath the truck to right here. So if you pop this little cover off on most pickups or SUVs or whatever you're putting this on, there's always holes, little plugs that are in these areas, and I just ran the wires straight through there, around the back, and put the actual unit itself right here under the seat. So what I did was I put the adhesive Velcro on there, and that sticks on there. It's not going to move around or anything like that. And then I can close my seat and it's like it's not even there. And then for the wiring for the antennas and the 12 volt plug, I ran it just straight underneath my floor mats, and the interior antenna is underneath my seat, and then my 12 volt plug is ran up here right there. So when I press that red button, it's on. Pretty simple stuff. So it wasn't hard to mount at all. I mean, probably took me 20 minutes to get it mounted and everything wired up. Just do remember that you have 15 feet of wiring to work with, so keep that in mind on when you decide on where you want to mount this thing. But yeah, that's it. It's on. Let's go for a little drive now, and let's give it an actual test run where I'm losing service, and we'll see how it picks up. All right, so I'm out here on a back road about 45 minutes from my house where I know cell service isn't good, and I'm doing a test run. So I have this app on my phone. It's called the Speed Test. So it tests the download and upload speed of your phone. And right now out here I have 1 bar. I'm kind of in and out of service, as you can see it right there. And I'm going to do a speed test on just the cell phone service without the booster turned on. So let's go ahead and run this. So this basically measures your download and upload speed in megabytes per second. So right now it's testing the download speed, and it is pulling about 12 megabytes per second. So 11.4 is our download speed right now, and it's testing the upload, and that's barely even moving. So the upload is 0.40. So 11.4 download and upload is 0.40. So now let's go ahead and turn that on and see how it changes the speed. So let's give it a few seconds to work its magic. I can already see now I have 3 bars of service. You can see right there it already boosted it. So let's go ahead and run a test. So I am pulling over 30 already. Wow. So 34.5 on the download speed. That is triple of what it was without the booster, and 13.6 on the upload. Man, that's awesome. So this thing works, and it works good. So we got more than triple of the upload, and download speed pretty much tripled it. So this thing works. Cool. I'm excited to use this thing now when we go camping and I lose service in different places, because I have a family and stuff and they're not always with me, and I run a business back home as well, and it's going to be good to have to kind of boost that communication with everybody whenever I'm out in the middle of nowhere. All right, guys, so final thoughts on this thing. Obviously it works, and it works great, and I like it, to be honest. You know me, I usually do not review stuff that I don't like or that I don't think that I will personally be using while we go out on trips. So I'm going to be using this thing. It's going to stay in the truck, and it's always going to be on, because it's nice to have that little bit of extra cell phone service when you're mapping stuff out or texting somebody or something like that. And also it'd be great for somebody that's working remote. I don't work remote, but you know, if you needed to hook your phone up as a hotspot to your laptop or something, it'd be nice to have that extra download speed. But other than that, it works good. You also have that 30-day return period. So if you guys want to try it out, go buy it, try it out for a couple weeks. If you don't like it, then just return it. That's what I would do if I was on the fence about it. But other than that, guys, there will be a link in the description to the product and where you can buy it, to Hiboost website. And I guess we'll be seeing y'all next time. Peace.